All right, here we go. Single take video. We're gonna see if I can take this in one recording. So I recorded my gym session today. This is actually the second gym session I've done. Did my first one on Monday. It is now Thursday. So I'm gonna take you through it. The squat rack, there's only one squat rack in this gym, and I usually start off with squats, but because the squat rack was taken, I'm onto the leg press. So warming up with two legs here, you'll see in a sec, I moved to one-legged. So starting off with single leg press, I was doing 8 reps of this. So right leg, then left leg, 8 reps. Controlled movement, nothing too crazy to start off with. The weight isn't that heavy actually. I think I was only doing maybe a plate on each side, and I think maybe a 5. So what? 45, 50 kilos on the leg press, which really isn't that much. So time of the year for me now, it's not really off season. I guess if I had to say, I'm sort of in, I guess what you'd call pre-season. Like I don't have any big races coming up, but you know, I'm recording this in December 21. I might have some bigger races I want to do next year around maybe March. February, March, April, that sort of thing. So nothing coming up too soon. So I guess this would be classified as pre-season. I'm riding maybe 3 or 4 times a week, getting into the gym trying to go 3 times a week. Different angle here. So this is on the Insta360. So I can basically stick the camera to any metal surface. So, and as you know, pretty much every piece of equipment in the gym is made of metal. So I can stick this pretty much anything. Bit of a crotch cam here. But continuing on with my sets, I've recorded pretty much every set I do for this session. So I started off single leg press. Again, I think I did 4 sets of 8 reps on each leg. But yeah, so pre-season for me, going through here. Other thing I was going to say, so I was talking about the pre-season. My history, I guess, in strength training. So I used to do weights when I was in school. Like I went through, like as a lot of people have, a bit of a bodybuilding strength phase when I was in high school while I was rowing. I obviously did weights as well as a part of my rowing training. So I do have a history in strength training, but I've only done it on and off for probably the past 6 years. I've done about a 6-month stint of strength training. Besides that, I haven't done any. So I'm only introducing this now after about probably a year and a half of not doing any strength training. So this is my final set here. Final set of 8 reps each leg. So basically what I'm saying is I do have a history of strength training. So when I was rowing, I did it for years. So I am absolutely weak as a cat, but my technique's generally pretty good and I know what I'm doing. So if you're someone that doesn't have any history in strength training, you're probably going to need to see a personal trainer or something to take you through the exercises, because you can't really, especially if you're doing things with free weights, you can't really just come in and wing it. It can be a bit dangerous. As you'll note as we get on through the video, there's one key exercise that I'm not doing, and that's deadlifts. I'll explain that in a sec. I've actually got a back injury, and I specifically avoid doing deadlifts for that reason. So I think that was my final set there. Lowering the rate. I got this. The camera in this shot was stuck to the to the hand towel rack that was made of metal. So second exercise, bench press. This does absolutely nothing for cycling, but if I'm in the gym doing strength training, I just like to do bench press. So 4 sets again, not much volume really. All I'm doing is 4 sets. So I warmed up one set with the bar, a couple of reps. Then I put a 10 on each side, did a couple of more reps. And then I put in 5 kilo on each side again. So now I have 15 kilos on each side, 20 kilo bar. So that's what? 50 kilo bench press, which is really not a lot. Bench, I think I was doing 6 reps of these, 4 sets of 6. Really just because it would be nice to maintain some sort of upper body mass. But yeah, going through my sets here. The reason I don't do deadlifts is because when I went through my strength phase maybe 2 years ago when I was back in the gym, I have injuries in my lower back and my discs from rowing. And if I lose form on a deadlift and don't maintain the arch in my back, I can really throw out my discs. So I fully injured myself in the gym about 2 years ago when I was doing deadlifts. I was doing trap bar deadlifts, and essentially I lost form. My lower back sort of gave in, and then I tweaked something in my discs, and I had to get my dad to pick me up from the gym. I managed to just get out of the gym and essentially collapsed on the curb, couldn't even stand up, and I was bedridden for 2 days. So that was quite scary. Look, I can avoid that by just using proper form on my deadlifts and just using lighter weight, but I've kind of been scared off it because of my history of back injuries. So I just skipped deadlifts altogether now, so now I'm moving to squats. I would usually recommend doing the compound, the biggest movements first. So squats, I would usually say do these first, but as I said, there was a guy in the squat rack. So now I'm doing this a little bit fatigued. I purposefully did the bench press in between the single leg press because you don't want to go just leg exercise to leg exercise because it's too fatiguing. So full depth here, ass to grass, all the way down. Squats today, 4 sets of 5 with, again, like I'm really weak, so I did 17 and a half kilos each side, so 55 kilo squats I was doing, which is pretty embarrassing, pretty light. There's there's girls that could squat this as their warm-up, so seconds, the weight will go up pretty quickly because this is only my second session back in the gym. But yeah, just trying to maintain good form. And I'm going, in terms of like my effort level in these sets, so I'll talk you through it. So good setup here, making sure I've got my legs, feet set, breathe in before I drop down for the rep, come back up, full depth. But you can see here, like there's a bit of strain on my face, down, up, like I'm pushing. I think I got one more rep. There we go. So I'm pushing hard, like these are hard sets, but I've probably got, if someone put a gun to my head, I've probably got 2 sets left in me. Break between sets here. So a couple of things, I'm sipping, the shoes. So I run the Converse with the flat-soled shoes, bit of a heavy, thick sole, so not much cushioning there. It just gives better stability through my feet, and I just like the feeling of lifting in Converse, pretty popular lifting choice. I try to stay away from lifting in sort of joggers or anything with a spongy sole. And the drink I was sipping on Staminade throughout this, just for hydration, bit of electrolytes, and also a little bit of carbs coming in. It was only like 1.5 scoops of Staminade. So maybe throughout this, I think I was in the gym for about 50 minutes to an hour. Our podcast recommendation, Joe Rogan with Derek from More Plates, More Dates. I don't really like Joe Rogan. I think he's a bit of a moron, to be honest. And I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he says, but he does some good podcasts, interviews some good people, and it's like a three-hour podcast, so making my way through that. No music at the gym for me. I go podcast. I save music for when I'm riding, when I'm pushing myself harder. But yeah, so I was running Staminade in there, just a little bit of carbs throughout this, just because I did a hard ride yesterday. I did 60 minutes sweet spot. I will ride tomorrow. So yeah, just keeping a little bit of carbs coming in throughout this session, along with some electrolytes. So here I'm supersetting bent over rows with the machine and a plank. So yeah, superset meaning you go directly from one exercise to the other, then I have about a 30-second break before repeating. So my planks are about 45 minutes, just a steady plank. I like these bent over rows in the machine because you're essentially doing an isometric contraction of your knees and your hips. So holding that bent over position works your legs, works your glutes, works your hips and your core. And then, the rowing action a little bit for my back muscles. Not important to cycling, but it's nice to do. So yeah, good for trunk strength, hip strength, hip stability, and then plank here as well. So finishing off 45-second sets, which isn't that long. Like again, I had like one plate on the bent over row and then 45-second planks. So as you can tell, I'm pretty weak. Final exercise here. I only was able to capture 1 set of these because the camera ran out of battery. But this is final exercise, single leg dumbbell deadlifts, 8 reps on each side. I only did 3 sets of this set. So 3 sets of 8 reps on each leg, The bent over row superset with the plank, I did 4 sets of that. So this one's, I'm still getting, my stability and balance in this isn't great because I'm only doing this, it's only my 2nd session back, so still getting used to staying stable in here, but this is a good one. This kills my hamstrings and my glutes. I quite like it. Good for your core, hip stability, hip strength, glute strength and stuff like that. I just like it. I think it feels quite good. And the other stuff, the compound movements, is pretty much the strength. This one takes a little bit of balance as well. So I like to add this. So essentially, I've done 3 leg/hip exercises. Plank for my core, the bent over row with the machine, which is sort of hip, trunk, and core. Then the bench press, just for a little bit upper body. And then coming home, my recovery drink, protein shake with this Coles plant-based protein, which is, I did about 3 scoops of that, so about 45 grams of protein I mix it with this light soy milk. So about 45 grams of protein total in between this plant-based protein, which I think it's pea and brown rice protein combined. Top it up with a bit of water. Then I got the soy protein from the soy milk. And then for carbs, no sugar, no sugar in this recovery meal. 2 bananas for the carbs post-workout. And there we go. That is my recovery meal, recovery drink. So that's recording's ended here. I'll do a quick sort of text version of what I did in this session. So you can see here. As you can see, weights not that heavy, so yeah, bit of work to do strength-wise, but that's 1 set overall. That's all for this video, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments. I can do a few more of these as I start to change the exercises and change the stuff I'm doing. But thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one.